Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is going to be another Raid Shadow Legends video. So for those that have not come and joined me yet on Twitch, I stream 5 nights a week. This is going to be me doing a full team regear for RNBA, which is a reward from my Twitch channel points. So I have Hades minion points. People are able to redeem a single champion regear, a full team regear, a whole bunch of other stuff, actually. A whole bunch of other fun stuff, like a 15-minute consultation, just from lurking in the channel, being present. So if you want to join me, I'm at Hell Hades TV at Twitch 5 nights a week. But we're basically going to take on RNBA's account, level 68 account, been going for 100 odd days, and kind of cranking up the Great Hall in nice fashion. Pulled loads of champs, that's fine. What we're going to be doing today is building an unkillable team. So we've actually got a Santa Tower combo, and I am going to be heavily led by the Deadwood Jedi speed tuning website. So for those that haven't seen this before, really good site here. Deadwood Jedi, good streamer, good YouTuber as well. Check out his videos at this site, deadwoodjedi.com. I've done a couple of videos with him. I've also done a couple of videos around his speed tune calculator, so feel free to check those out, how to use it, and kind of the watch outs, I guess, if you're trying to use this. But what we're going to be doing is clicking on the speed tunes. We're going to be jumping onto the unkillable comps. Okay, so the site's actually down right now. It doesn't matter, I've got all the speeds I need, but basically if you come to this site normally, you get yourself a good group of different different compositions. So if you've got man-eaters, if you've got towers, if you've got warcasters, skullcrushers, painkeepers, there's a bunch of different builds you can do for unkillables, from budget up to kind of super high end. So keep this website in mind, it's really useful when it's up and running. What we're going to do today, though, is we're going to run a Tower Skullcrusher with a Doom Priest as a cleanser. So we've got Tower and Skullcrusher become our unkillable. Doom Priest is our cleanser, cleanses off the buffs, or the stuns and stuff like that. And then we're going to run a... We basically just, after that, need poison damage, so as much poison damage as we can get. I think we're probably going to run, looking at the champs we've got here, I think our best option is going to be, it could even be these two together. Frozen Banshee with Grave Chill gives us loads of poison and poison sensitivity and a decreased defense here, which is going to improve the damage we do. The other option could be to run like a Razin and a Frozen Banshee. If we had a Cult Brawler, I probably would run Razin, a Cult Brawler, but we don't have one, so I think we're going to run these two. And the main aim here is to get a team that can run on Nightmare and Ultra Nightmare, so at the same speeds, is completely unkillable, and will do at least like a 3-key Ultra Nightmare clan boss. That's the aim. So we're going to get this set up now. Basically what we need to do is get the speeds right first, and because we're unkillable, you can actually just push your damage right up. You try and get as much damage into your build as you can do. So basically we need a Tower running at 248 speed. We need a Doom Priest at about 186. And these guys, by the way, can all run between 173 and 186. But Doom Priest 186. We're going to go for a Poisoner at 179 roughly. A second one at around 175. And then our Skullcrusher coming in slowest at 174. So that's the teams. That's the speeds we're going to run. I'll show you the builds when they're done, and then we can do a run through. Okay, guys, we are ready to go. So what have I done? I've done all of the builds. The speeds are important. The masteries are really, really important. So if you are unsure if it's going to work or not, get this speed calculator out. Pump every bit of information in that's important. So who the champ is, how many speed sets they're wearing, what's their base speed, what's their total speed, do they have Law of Steel on, and then for the moves which you care about, like the Skullcrusher counterattack and the Tower move to block damage, make sure you put those ones in so they stand out in this calculator. every bit of information is important on these speeds. If you've got Law of Steel on someone and you don't press yes, then it could throw off the whole composition. Because if you see someone with Law of Steel on, like Frozen Banshee, their speed is not a whole number anymore. So although the game says it's a whole number, it's not. So you can see here, it should run that the tower gets his move off. My Skullcrusher always has the counter-attack and unkillable before the stun. And then the tower will always place, from turn 9, his block damage from at the end of AoE, or just before AoE 1. See the way it runs through? So the kind of, I guess the only risky time is up to turn 9, when you'll have an element of time where you'll be, you won't have the unkillable one. So let's run it through. Let me show you what I mean in reality. In terms of masteries, we've got this kind of counter-attack mastery on 3 of them. And then for the people that are extending debuffs, because I don't have enough poison damage in the setup, I've done it with these kind of Master Hexer masteries on. Just make sure you don't take any speed enhancing masteries on anybody. So let's jump in. This is the setup then. Skullcrusher is the lead. He's the one who's tanking up the stuns. Make sure you are not on auto at the start, guys. And then basically we do block damage here. Make sure we take no damage. Increase attack. We're going to go just A1, try and get some poison going. Got resisted. We're going to get our both things getting resisted. Of course it is because I'm recording. Just A1 on the tower. That's a shame. Poison sensitivity getting resisted is a real annoying one. It means that everyone else is going to struggle to get their poisons out. Let's go A1 again. And again. So Skullcrusher at this point throws out his unkillable. He takes the stun. Doom Priest will cleanse that straight off. See that? Cleansed it off so that we're not going to lose any turns. And then at this point, you can just hit auto. And it will run through. So you just had to get to the point where you control when Skullcrusher is going to do his unkillable move. You'll see he puts his unkillable on as soon as he can. That comes in before AoE 2. By the time we get to, I'll pause it when we get to turn 9, and you'll see that everything falls into sync. We're at turn 6. Tower's just put his on there, that's great. We're about to be hit with the second AoE for turn 8. Coming into unkillable, so you see that unkillable happens. The tower's got 1 turn remaining on his unkillable. We'll keep it on auto. And then we should get the unkillable up before, here we go, before the AoE. So at this point, it's now completely in sync. And all you're relying on at this point is just that your poison damage dealers actually do their damage. So if you've got an Occult Brawler in here, he'll be more consistent than what we've got. We've had a very, very unlucky start, in fairness. But you'll see that for every slam, we've got the unkillable on. Bam. Gets cleansed straight off every time. And it just enables your guys to get their damage done. So I'm going to let this run through to the end. We're going to get a full 50 turns worth of damage. And as I said at the beginning, the aim is to be able to get at least a 3 key on Ultra Nightmare. And then I can show you it on Nightmare as well. So here we go, guys. 8 minutes later, we're kind of kicking our way through. I'm guessing I need to double check the accuracy on our Grave Shield, because I've had a couple of resists throughout the fight, which I wouldn't expect. And maybe I changed some gear around and I pulled our accuracy too low. But we're coming up, 21 million at turn 45. We need to get to 24 million to be a 3 key. And I think with a bit of tweaking and a bit more luck at the start there, we would have got it. I also think I'd be better off to throw the poison sensitivity up after Skullcrusher does his counter attack. because that way I get more procs of the poison sensitivity. So you save it until after that first stun. It's going to be close though. It's going to be close, but I think we just about get there. So we're at 22 now. As I say, we need to hit 24 by turn 50, because at that point everyone's dead. It's going to be very close. One turn to go. Can we scrape 1 million more damage? It's going to be almost kind of bob on where we need it to be. Here we go. 23.5 is actually, it's almost exactly 3 key number. And that's with a bad start on RNG. So shows how capable this team is. And the cool thing about this team, if I show you this calculator again, this is what it looks like right now on Ultra Nightmare. If I ping it onto Nightmare, everything jumbles around because the Nightmare speed's different. But I can just force the Skullcrusher to take 1 more turn delay. And I can push the tower to take 1 turn delay. And then all of a sudden it sinks in that from turn 3, everything is perfect again. Right the way through. Stun. Stun. Yeah. So we just delay 1 turn for the tower's move. We delay 2 turns for Skullcrusher's move. Let me show you this in action. So all the same setup. And it just means you don't have to change any gear around. It's just a full kind of working comp. So we delay 1 turn for the tower before he does his move. Because we're getting this in before the counter attack is going to land, we're going to do sensitivity here. This is where it should be. We're going to delay 2 turns for Skullcrusher. So delayed 1 turn for the tower. Just checking my sheet as I'm going, making sure I'm not messing up. Delayed a 2nd turn for Skullcrusher. And at that point, bang, 2 turns, full auto. And this is going to run through again right till turn 50. And we're going to consistently have the Unkillable comp running. Always cleansed, always running smoothly. Should get poison sensitivity up now, I think, if I've done it right. Yeah, so it comes up after that. So we get 1 full wave of counter attack where poison sensitivity is up, which means we're going to get our poisons working right. That's what I should have done the first time around, guys. I messed it up. But you can see here, we've got way more poisons kicking in now. That's what I should have done the first time. Again, I'll let it run through. We can see the result. It should be a 1 key. Let's find out. Here we go again. Turn 45, 8 minutes later. And it's really tight. We're at 33 mil. We need to get over that 39. I think we're going to just be under it, actually. We're going to be just under the damage we need. But it's incredibly close. With just a bit more tweaking, we could get this up to a 1 key for sure. Which would mean that RNBA would be able to 3 key Ultra Nightmare and Nightmare Clan Boss together, basically using 2 rares, 2 epics, and 1 legendary, albeit they're quite specific as to which ones they need to be. As I say, a Cult Brawler in a lineup like this would walk it for both comps because the poison output would just be so much more consistent. And at the moment, we're just a little bit reliant on poison sensitivity being up to really get the maximum damage out here. But 36, it's going to end up being just under 37, 36.5, very close to that 1 key, with a bit of headroom in terms of what we can do as well. Certainly Skullcrusher can kick out more damage than this as well. So I think there's a bit more we could be doing, but hopefully that is useful for you guys. It's definitely a composition that works. The important elements to it are Roshcard, Skullcrusher, and a cleanser. Doesn't have to be Doom Priest, but a cleanser. Doom Priest works so well because she can be used on all affinities. What I might do for RNBA, we do have a Bad L sitting here, is bring Bad L into the mix at the same speed as Doom Priest, and then we'll be able to use Bad L for all Void affinity fights and Doom Priest for all other affinity fights. So last thing I'm going to show then is Bad L coming into the fray here instead of that Doom Priest. Showing it on auto at the start. So again, we're just going to delay 1 turn on tower. This is Nightmare. The other one switched affinities. We're going to do our cleanse from our bad L. We're going to get our decreased defense down. And we're going to get our poison sensitivity down. Skullcrusher, if you remember, is going to wait 2 turns. We've already got a bunch of juicy damage going on. Tower gets his block damage out. Making the most of this poison sensitivity on. 1 more turn and then it's auto. So at this stage, just to see really what the difference that Bad L's going to bring. I think Bad L's going to bring a lot more damage for us, but it won't work on all affinities because basically what will happen is the clan boss will start to target other people with the stun, and we want the clan boss to target the Skullcrusher. So that's going to be that. I'll let this run through to the end, show you the results of this one as well. I can already see damage per turn's much higher, but yeah, I'll show you how we get on. Okay, here we go. Just to round it off then, we're at turn 46, so we're going to get another couple of turns. It's actually turned out to be very similar damage, surprisingly. So we're going to end up being just short of that 1 key again, I think, here. 2 turns, we're not going to score 5 million in 2 turns. So a bit of a not quite 1 key in, but not far off it still. Don't know, maybe Grave Chill for Razin or something, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Anyway, guys, hope you've learned a ton about Unkillable Teams, the damage output, the potential they've got, and I'll catch you in a video soon.